This is the video lesson for Module 3, Fear 3.01, Fear, Anxieties, Phobias, oh my! And I'm just going to briefly go over the things that you need to read and take a look at on your own and just do a quick look at what the lesson is so that you can then go in and read it yourself and do all the parts of it. Okay, so I like to start with the objectives, which are on the bottom of page 1, and it says, use knowledge regarding word parts to decipher the meaning of words, incorporate new vocabulary in your writing, and use phrases and fragments for effect. So that's what you'll be able to do at the end of this 7-page lesson. So it starts out talking about fear, and you need to read this whole page, and then it has these little cards here that you look at and click through them by pushing the arrow over here, and it will tell you the names of different kinds of fears. Like it has acrophobia, which is the fear of heights, and it has some that you'll recognize and probably some that you've never heard of before. On page 2, it talks about enhancing your vocabulary, and you do that by knowing a prefix, a root, and a suffix. And so you'll want to read this entire page, and then down here you're going to click on each of the word, and it's going to tell you the prefix and what it means, and the root and the suffix and what they all mean, and how you can then, by knowing those things, understand what the word means even if you've never heard of it before. But you will have heard of all these before probably. And I like this little part right here. It says, one study revealed that if a person learned how to use a set of 20 prefixes, 15 roots, and 10 suffixes, the meaning of over 100,000 words could be unlocked. So by just knowing those few things, you could know 100,000 new words. So make sure you read through all of this and take a look at these suffixes and what they mean. Then on page 3, it talks about more about root words, and so you'll want to read this entire page, and then you'll go through these cards here, and it has the root, like this one is acro. It asks you to think of root words that you can think of that start with that, like acro. You might think of acrobat, and then you click on it and it will tell you what it means, high peak or heights, and there's 10 of those, so you want to do that. And then you'll move on to page 4. And here, this is a pretty short page, but it goes through those cards that you would have just done, like acro right here. And it gives you some examples of words that start with those or have that as their root, and then exactly what it means. And then if you click here, it will also show you how to use each of those words in a sentence. So those are all really good things to use. And make sure you read the whole page all the way to the bottom. And then you'll go on to page 5. And on page 5, it talks a lot about improving your writing and the different kinds of things that you can do in order to create the kind of mood or pace or tone that you're looking for in your writing. So you'll want to look through all of this. Repetition, you'll click on fragments, click on punctuation marks. It gives you examples and also explains why it does what it does. And then for here, it's the different kinds of phrases you can use, and again, you'll click on the different ones and read all of it, read every single page, every word. Then you'll move on to page 6. And on page 6, it talks about the pace of a story, fast pace, slow pace, and the different kinds of moods that it creates. So you'll play a little game here where you'll drag these onto which kind of pace it uses. So you'll do that, and then down here it actually gives you some examples of fast pace and slow pace. And I wanted to note, so I want you to know that as you read through all of this, you'll flip through these down here at the bottom. You'll go to the next page, and each little part of a story that you read, those are all by Edgar Allan Poe, the same author. So it gives you a good example of how one person can create different moods by changing their style a little bit. And then the last page talks about the assignment for this module, and for this particular assignment that it is a quiz, so there won't be a second lesson, video lesson, because you'll just go and take the quiz. Alright, so enjoy all that, and if you have any questions, make sure you let me know, and good luck!